Hi, YouTube. This was my blog post today. I think it's a necessary conversation. Many of us don't know what it is or what it does. So let's get started. The first 10 amendments under Bill of Rights. U.S. Bill of Rights. On September 25, 1789, Congress transmitted to the state legislators 12 proposed amendments to the Constitution. Numbers 3 through 12 were adopted by the states to become the United States Bill of Rights, effective December 15, 1791. In terms of definitions, the difference is that the Constitution was ratified first, and the Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments that were added to the Constitution. In terms of their content, the major difference is that the Constitution as a whole sets up our system of government. Bill of Rights was necessary to safeguard individual liberty. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now remember, when we broke away from England and set up our own government, we were leaving a tyrannical government who was forcing us under the Church of England. And that was the government, you had to, the government, the church and government were the same, in other words. So they wanted to make no law to establish a religion to govern us, but they didn't want to prohibit the free exercise thereof, or bridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Summary of Bill of Rights Amendments. The first of the additions to the original Constitution documents the right of freedom of religion and choice of worship, the right to have freedom of speech, the right of the people to be informed by the freedom of the press, the freedom to meet in groups, to exchange ideas and opinions, and the freedom to request the government to make right any injustices. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Summary of Bill of Rights Amendments. The second of the additions to the original Constitution states that people have the right to keep a weapon and to use it to protect themselves. Amendment 3. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. The summary of Rights Amendment, the third of the additions to the original Constitution, is a reference to the hated quartering act imposed by the British and states that soldiers cannot take or live in a person's house without the permission of the owner. So that just means they can't just forcefully come in and take your property, which I think is right. Amendment 4, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath of affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The fourth of the additions to the original Constitution is a reference to the writs of assistance, search warrants, exercised by the British and states that the government cannot arrest a person or search their property unless there is a probable cause that a crime has been committed. Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land of or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Summary of Bill of Rights Amendments. The fifth of the additions to the original Constitution states that the federal government must follow the due process of the law before punishing a person, and that all citizens had the right to a trial by jury. It also states that a person cannot be put on trial twice for the same crime, the double jeopardy clause, or that person on trial for a crime does not have to testify against themselves in court, known as pleading the fifth. The provisions of the amendment were extended in 1966 to include the reading of rights, the Miranda rights. I think that's what the cops do if they come to arrest you. They read you your rights. You have the right to remain silent, and so forth. Okay, Amendment 6. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Summary of Bill of Rights Amendments. The sixth of the additions to the original Constitution states that a person has a right to be told what crimes they are charged with, have a speedy and fair trial by a jury, to have a lawyer during the trial, and the right to question witnesses against them, and have the right to get their own witnesses to testify for them. Amendment 7. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of common law. Summary of Bill of Rights Amendments. The seventh of the additions to the original Constitution refers to the rights of those being sued, and states that a person also has a right to a jury trial for civil cases. Amendment 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Summary of Bill of Rights Amendments. The 8th of the additions to the original Constitution says that the government cannot demand excessive bail, excessive fines, or inflict any cruel and unusual punishment. Amendment 9. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Summary of Bill of Rights Amendments. The 9th of the additions to the original Constitution states that the Constitution does not include all of the rights of the people and the states. It provides a reassurance that rights not listed could not be taken away, and that the adoption of Constitution itself and its construction would limit the powers of government. Amendment 10. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. Summary of the Bill of Rights Amendments. The 10th of the addition to the original Constitution states that any powers that the Constitution does not give to the government belong to the states and the people, excluding the powers of the Constitution says the states cannot have. I will put a link to my blog in the description, and please read it over carefully at your leisure and study it. And while they're trying to do away with First Amendment and Second Amendment, look at the other amendments and see what, if they do away with one, they could do away with all. And it's illegal. These are, the Constitution is the highest law of the land, and any other law that conflicts the Constitution will become null and void. So they really can't take away your First Amendment, Second Amendment, any of your amendments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.